Hello guys, it's nice to be with you here again, and I hope you have a great year, enjoy parties and celebrations with your family. And today I'm going to talking about it's basically I'm going to continue talking about the function of the for function that is its function is basically to perform interactions, okay, loops in your code. And but with this function I'm going to introduce to you the function input. And basically the function input has the rule of giver the user the and ask the user indeed for him given some information. For example, if you wanted to ask for the user some values for perform some kind of calculation, you may use the function input. So let's go to an example. This example is basically as I have mentioned here, and it's the name of the code. It's lista quadrados in Portuguese. Okay, basically it's the list of squares. So I'm going to ask for the user a number of square, and with this number of squares I'm going to calculate in integer values the square of these values. For example, if the user give me the first 5 squares, the program is going to return the 5 square of the 5 first numbers, the 5 integer numbers. Okay, for example, you have 1, and the square of 1 is 1, and 2, the square of 2 is 4, and 3, the square of 3 is 9, and so on. So let's go ahead and with this by put here the program, by put here the code, you're going to understand more. Okay, so let's start with, I'm going to start with a variable, okay, s, that's the variable will be 20. You're going to understand why I'm saying that it's 20. Basically, I'm going to work with the maximum number of square be 20. Okay, so the another thing that I need to introduce here is this is basically I'm saying that with this number I'm going to define the maximum numbers allowed for the user to provide. Okay, so basically my function here that is returning the values, it will be the function squares. Okay, and my squares is equals to 0 of this function here, these variables here, s and the constant one. Why I'm saying this? Because I'm creating a vector, okay, with the maximum elements of 20. It's a vector, a column vector, because I'm specified here. Remember, when I write something like this, means that I have a matrix that has s numbers of rows, and this place here means that this is the number of columns. So if I specify here as 1, I'm saying that it is a column vector, okay, with 1 column and s lines, where s, the maximum s is 20. The function zeros here plays an important role that is creating 20 slots, okay, in my variable squares, but these slots will be empty. Okay, so in this moment, how the values of the function square is 0. Okay, so it's really important this step, because you should know that I need to create here my vector by saying that this vector has the maximum of elements of 20, okay, 20. So but this for a while, these elements, all these slots is empty. It means that it has a value of 0, okay. But I'm going to when I wrote the code completely, it's going to put these values inside of these empty slots, okay. So we should know that the square here, as defined here, is a vector of 20 elements, and but is empty with 20 elements of 0, 0, 0, 0, and so on, okay. So but now I'm going to provide you here, this is not a function, okay. This is just a name property, could be any name here, because this is not a function, this is just a variable that I call property, okay. And with this property, I'm going to ask the users how many squares the users want, okay. So how many squares do you want? So in the program, when I run the program, this message is going to appear, and the user should provide the number of squares that he or she and they want to have, okay. So now I'm gonna put here the number of squares, because now with this statement here is basically, I can say that this is basically this is the code, okay, that is for compute the number of squares by the user, okay. So with this code here, the function part, the user is going to provide the number of squares, okay. And then, for example, if the users put 2, the number of squares will be 2, okay. So and now I need to write a statement that's going to use the number of squares to calculate the first number of squares that the users has provided, okay. So let's write this code. So as we know, we need to define the function for, and I'm going to declare here a function, a variable number, and this variable number should be from 1 to the number squares, okay. Nice. So now my squares, that is this function here, is going to be squares of number that's equals to number square, okay. But as you see here, the number is varying from 1 to the number of squares, that is the number of squares that the user has provided, for example, that the users want to calculate, okay. So basically this has finished, so I can finish the loop here, okay. And for printing the results, I can just put something like this: the first number of squares are squares. So let's see the results to see if everything is okay. So here, as you see here, the program is already running, okay. So the program is waiting for the input, and if I don't give it any value, the program is say some message like this, okay. As you see, we have no values, okay. And basically, as you can see here, my my array of squares has 20 vectors, 20 elements, sorry, 20 elements, but all of them are empty, okay, with 0 value. But if I run the program again, let's clean here. If I run the program again and provide the number of squares that I want, so for example, I say 5, I'm going to have the 5 squares of the integer numbers, okay? So for example, 1, the square of 2 is 4, the square of 3 is 9, the square of 4 is 16, and the square of 5 is 25. For example, if I wanted to fill this vector with the 20 values, and we know that the 20 square is 400, so let's see if the result will be consistent. So how many squares do you want? I want a 20, so you see that the last element is 20, as we predicted. So the code is reliable and the result is very correct. Okay, so you see here the program asks the number of squares that the users want. So I have provided 20. So the answer is the first number squares 20 are these 20 values here. Okay. So this is the video for today. So basically we have given some types how to write a code, including by joining the function of for loops and the function of input for ask the user for provide some information to perform some kind of calculations for some challenge problem. Okay, so it's nice to meet you again, and I hope we have more videos in this final stage of the year. But I hope 21 for the year of 21, all of us have great times, and I hope still make some videos to learn with you about this powerful software that's MATLAB. So thank you so much for watching. See you.